Here at Veteran Trash Talk, we actually vet our sponsors. We don't just take their money and run like a Butterbar lieutenant lost on the land nav course. Are you finally ready to plant your flag and claim your territory? Maybe it's time to use that VA loan to buy a home. Or hell, maybe you're looking to refinance and put some extra cash in your pocket for more questionable life decisions. Either way, the Veterans Mortgage Source, powered by Canopy Mortgage, has your six. Look, buying a home or refinancing can feel like getting overrun on a bad op. Chaotic, confusing, and full of obstacles that make no damn sense. That's where Corey and his team come in. They're like the QRF of home loans, ready to pull you out of the chaos and guide you to the best program for you. And trust me, they'll answer all your questions. Yeah, even the dumb ones. Whether you're a salty vet or fresh out of barracks still trying to figure out where your TA-50 went. Great service, solid rates, and a team that actually understands the military life. That's why all of us here at Veteran Trash Talk trust them to do right by every veteran and their family. Ready to lock it in? Give Corey a call or shoot him a text at 808-699-7874. That's 808-699-7874. Don't wait. Unless you like overpaying and getting treated like an FNG. The Veterans Mortgage Source is powered by Canopy Mortgage, LLC. All loans are subject to credit and property approval.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Listen, it's impossible to fight, okay, if you don't know what you're fighting for. Does that make sense? Like, if you're in the dumps and you're struggling with mental health, things of that nature, it's going to continue tearing you down, all right? Because you're consistently trying to fight something, which is that demon, which is usually something from the past, right? Maybe that why needs to be fighting for your future. Let that be your why. Get the hell up and start fighting for your future. Stop fighting things that happened in the past. Easier said than done, right? Go seek help. It's okay not to be okay. A lot of people need to hear this. You are more of a warrior and a fighter if you stand up and say, hey, this has to stop. I need to go seek help. The stigma, everything has changed. It's okay not to be okay.
And so my honesty cap is dedicated to a little, we'll call it a public service announcement for civilians and other people in the military. There are a few people that you should always take their stories with a grain of salt. Vegans, CrossFitters, and special operations guys that tell you that they were special operations without being prompted. The first thing they say is, yeah, I used to be soft. Right. The only unicorn in that entire group is like a special operations guy that was like a vegan and did CrossFit. That guy's probably going to stay quiet for a little bit longer because he's confused as what he should talk about first. And that's the only reason. Right. Anybody that says that they were soft without being prompted or without it being like a normal part of your communications is probably either an enabler or going to tell you a bunch of stuff that's not exactly true.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What's up, Gruntworks Nation? Big Earl. You heard Dave talk. You heard Buddy talk. Now, Buddy's all about, he is a Green Beret and he's Special Forces and yada, yada, yada. But he will not tell you that unless, he really, really likes you and he's made dinner for you. However, what Veteran Trash Talk does is we bring a lot of light to the veteran community, the first responder community. We promote that what we're doing well, all right, whether we're running for office, we started a business, nonprofit, all those things. Veteran Trash Talk is a super clean page. We got Gruntworks if you want to go there and raise a little hell a little bit, but we are here to promote veteran-owned businesses. So the show you are about to watch is a veteran or veterans or a spouse of a veteran or a child of a veteran that's doing great things in the community, and we need your help promoting them and getting them all the success that they need. All right, guys, enjoy the show.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
What's up, Trash Talkers? What is up, Gruntworks Nation? Welcome to Season 3, Episode 3 of the Trash Talk Hour. Special guest today is Teresa Shick, who will be discussing all things Navy. And joining me, as usual, our buddy and the Big Earl. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
Hey,
Yeah,
how's
I'm
everybody
excited
doing?
because I don't know anything about the Navy. So we get to learn everything about it today. I'm pumped. So
I'm gonna dig deep into the. I'll dig deep. It's been 8 years.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah, my grandfather wanted me to join the Navy. Shout out to him. Rest in peace. But
Well,
yeah,
I mean, he was an admiral.
he was a
and
rear
you-
admiral. Yeah, and I was like, I'm gonna join
look
the
what
Army.
you did.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're gonna join the army as an enlisted guy.
yeah, well,
Good job.
Sergeant.
Wait,
Rolling over.
yeah, supposed to progress. All right,
Yeah.
go back.
Happy Airborne Day. Happy Airborne Day. You know,
It is
big one.
Airborne Day.
Buddy, you got the beret
National
out, right? You're going to
Airborne
wear
Day.
that. Yeah. For anybody that is airborne and as good as
Yep.
we are, check that shirt out. Scan that QR code right here.
Yeah,
You guys have a song?
remember. Say again.
What's that?
You have a song, an airborne
For
song.
an
cool.
airborne
Several
song?
airborne songs.
Yeah.
Put on
Several
your
of them.
boots. How about some
Boots,
blood on the ride?
shoots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going up. We're coming down.
down.
We're all American and proud to be.
Proud to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Sorry,
Yeah. Little.
yeah, no, we got airborne songs. Oh yeah.
What about?
We got a lot of those. Yeah.
Remember, if your dad doesn't jump out of airplanes, then you don't have a dad. You have
You
two
got
moms.
two moms.
All
So
right,
it's
it's
cool.
just the way it is. So,
Life stuff.
I mean, it's a volunteer thing. Nobody makes you go,
That is
right?
true.
So, like, I don't know. If you're not airborne, I don't really know what you're doing. So,
You apparently you ain't shit. That's what
yeah,
I've
apparently you
I'm
ain't
still
shit.
trying to convince Tyler to go. I think he's starting to. Yeah, I think because they're offering it out there now. They're offering all kinds of stuff, air assault and everything. So Tyler's like, I don't know, airborne maybe. And I'm like, yeah, you should do it, bud. You should do it.
Yeah, and then you should go to Ranger
we'll
School
see.
so that the next time
Yeah.
you guys come over,
Oh
you can
my
sit at
God.
my table.
Hey, then we'll have a
and
ranger in the
you
family, and you guys, whatever.
If he goes to
can
Rangers,
sit at the kids' table. You know, like you go sit where
Then
Tyler
you-
usually sits. Tyler
you
sits
actually
me.
have to go sit at the kids' table.
I will.
Oh, somebody
Thanks for-
scanned one of our QR codes. What's that all about? We didn't even promote it.
Airborne.
Not
Airborne.
me. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get
sure.
this party started. So, as usual, we're going to start off with a conspiracy theory. We have talked about Project Stargate on here a couple times. They did a big show on the Sean Ryan show on that as well with that famous remote viewer. And I think it was one of those that we kind of like all agreed on that it might be a thing, right? I think we were pretty.
Is that the guy
much
that
on the
came out
same
of that
page.
shed?
No, remote viewing, that Stargate program where they give you like coordinates and they don't tell you where this is at, and these people have the capability to like go to wherever that location is in their minds.
I had a
And
lot
then,
of bourbon
yeah.
on that show. I forgot it. But I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
So there is another project, and let me pull it up real quick before Chris plays a video. Project Sunstreak, and it has to do with remote viewing, but remote viewing the Ark of the Covenant. So we're gonna play the video, and there's CIA files on this as well, so you guys can Google them while the video's playing if you want.
The CIA,
It's pretty
like the real
interesting.
one.
Yes, like from 1988. So
Hey Nick, are we going to talk about what this conspiracy is sponsored by?
We
thanks,
can.
Chris. Well, yeah, we can talk about that later. Go ahead, play the video.
And also stop
God
talking.
talking to me right now.
That was God. No, we're going to try to help out Michael Klemler with Aerial Resupply Coffee. So a veteran-owned company that sponsors our UFC show. He's done so well. He's selling something that most veterans do is coffee, and he's now taking investors. So you can invest in Aerial Resupply Coffee. He's at that stage of his company. He's been on the show twice, and somebody said, "Oh, you're going to retire and sell coffee? What veteran does that?" Well, he's doing it better than most. So there you go. Go ahead and if you want to invest in a veteran-owned company, right there.
You know, I've done that before. It didn't work out so
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still alive.
This
It's
one-
still alive,
this
and that
one's
wasn't
better,
a
though.
veteran-owned company.
Yeah, well, that one wasn't veteran owned, apparently.
Yeah, it's not at all. Armed Forces Brewery with the fake Navy SEAL. We can talk about that with Teresa. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm getting
Sounds pretty similar to Stargate, except they did more like obscure things for remote viewing. So some instances would be like they had remote viewers within Project Sunstreak that would do drug busts all over the world. And there's one guy who was 50% effective. So he would just sit in a room and they'd give him a map and he's like, they're going to be here, here, here. 50% of the time he was always right with big drug busts.
That's nuts.
But there was one that I said, this has to be a joke, not a joke. This was a real mission in Project Stargate. And
this is a CIA government document.
Yes. Okay. And I have the document right here. It's on CIA.gov. This was training target 0209 is the Ark of the Covenant.
What? What are they doing with it?
On December 5th, 1988, this one man, for his training exercise, was to find the Ark of the Covenant. And what he wrote was bone-chilling. What he saw.
Antarctica.
Okay, no.
Pyramids.
I'm just going to read what he said.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
Directly from .gov.
Yeah. So this is the official, his, what do you call it?
Debrief.
Or he was viewer number 032. So viewer 32. Like, this is what he said about the Ark of the Covenant. Target is in a container. This container has another container inside of it. The target is fashioned of wood, gold, and silver. The target is similar in shape to AOL, which I don't know what that means, a coffin, and is decorated with seraphim. See sketch, page 16.
So they're describing it.
Yeah.
Got it.
He's viewing it, and they're writing down. The target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoken by individuals present seemed to be Arabic. Visuals of surrounding buildings indicated the presence of a mosque, domes, ? See page 12. Individuals in the area were clothed in virtually all white, had black hair and dark eyes. One figure I homed in on wore a mustache. There's just the one guy.
Can't trust him.
It's probably named Keith.
My stepdad's up to no good.
The target is hidden underground. Dark and wet were all aspects of the location of the target. The purpose of the target is to bring people together. See page 16. It has something to do with ceremony, memory, homage, and the resurrection.
What?
There is an aspect of spirituality, information, lessons, and historical knowledge far beyond what we know. The target, this is the part. The target, being the Ark of the Covenant, is protected by entities. See page 14. And can only be opened by those who are authorized to do so. This container will not / cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. Once it is time to open the container, the mechanics of the lock system will be found to be fairly simple. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors. See page 17. Through the use of a power unknown to us. That is a CIA.
Yeah. And I chat GPT'd it, obviously, when I pulled the video, and the document is out there. It's declassified what he saw. I mean, obviously, we don't know if I believe in the whole remote viewing, the Stargate program that we discussed. I believe that that's a thing. This one, I don't know, man. I mean, there's a lot to. Did he just make all that up? And did he maybe see the Ark of Covenant and then talks about entities and stuff? I feel like he just went all in then. If that was actually a training mission, he did see these things. I'm gonna go I'm going to go 60-40 that it's a thing. And it
That's
actually
10% more accurate than the guy that.
And then a guy
remote
predicting,
views
right?
50% of the
50-50,
time,
right?
he's always right.
I'm going to go 60
50%
because
of
I
the time
do
he's always
Stargate.
right.
Yeah, Stargate is pretty baller, and like that one famous remote viewer that was on Sean Ryan. I mean, it's pretty amazing stuff. So I believe that that's occurring. This one, hey, there's a good shot. Entities and all that. That's kind of wild, but I don't know. Teresa, what do you think? Is this all bullshit?
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit. I'm also thinking, did Indiana Jones and Duck Dynasty come together and make some sort of podcast?
Yeah.
And then the chick overreaction is a whole nother thing, but I'm totally calling bullshit on this.
Have you heard of Project Stargate though?
No,
Okay.
No, that's above my pay grade for sure. But this just seems, like Indiana Jones number 8. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This was an 88.
I think Ron like
is when
number
it
8,
happened.
really 6 or
Yeah,
7.
I think it was actually Indiana Jones 2. To be,
The first one is with the Ark. The first one is with the Ark.
Yeah, I'm also right.
So maybe he was a big fan, right? Maybe he was a big fan, and he was like, "I'm just going to tie all this into."
Raiders
when did
of the
Indiana
Lost
Jones
Ark
come
was the
out? When did the
first one,
second one
buddy.
come out? When did the second one
And then
come
Temple
out?
of Doom, and then Last Crusade.
The Last
What year
Crusade
that?
is the one with the Ark.
What
No,
year?
that was with the Grail.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You're
You
right.
are so wrong. Twice.
So stupid.
Twice
Yeah,
in
yeah.
2 days.
Yeah.
Whatever trip you're on, I want
blowing my
it.
mind.
Whatever you're
Yeah,
microdosing with,
it is.
send me a few of them.
It is horrible.
The whole video was distracting. The Duck Dynasty, the braids, the yawning girl,
Yeah.
it seemed like wrong. It's like if kids were talking. It was just the wrong. I don't know.
Personally, I think that I don't know. It sounds like he's describing Mecca, so that's odd. But
It's funny
yeah,
you say that, buddy. Go ahead, because there's another article that I found while going into ChatGPT, looking all this up. There's this college professor. He was like an English teacher or something. There's a big thing on him, and he went to Mecca in like the late 80s because somebody told him, he said God was speaking to him, and it was like the Ark of Covenant somewhere, and he was like digging huge holes, and then like the government came in and said, you got to stop digging here. But he found like a cave entrance that to this day is still blocked off.
That's Indiana Jones.
Yeah, this was like an actual teacher who did this, though. I forgot his name.
Hat. I have an Indiana Jones hat.
Dude, it's wild. Yeah,
also a teacher, Dave.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying it's in
professor.
Ethiopia. Ethiopia is
exact.
what a lot of people are saying though too, where it's supposed to be located at. So I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah, I would. I mean, I feel like maybe he heard about Mecca and he basically described Mecca and knows that nobody can disprove him. So it's a pretty safe bet to be like, yeah, it's somewhere in the Middle East because that's a small area and there's a mosque there. That would be like me saying, hey, Dave, I'm remote viewing you.
Texas.
You're somewhere in a dry area.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of desert.
The sun comes out.
I do think
at least 12 hours out of the day.
There's
it's
there's sun and also water. Like, you know what I mean? Like the chances of the Ark being in a cave
with
that's
entities
around water are pretty high.
Yeah.
Because that would just mean it's subterranean. And the chances that it's in the Middle East where it came from, pretty up there.
Because you believed in
that probably in the Middle East there's some brown-haired, dark-eyed people walking around speaking Arabic.
Hello,
I'm fairly good. Yeah, fairly good. Yeah, do you Durka? Like, that's all I'm saying. Like it's, I would call bullshit on this one. It sounds like somebody played the odds in training, and they were like, "Well, I need to pass. This is what I'll say."
Ooh, because you
know what I mean?
Viewing. I mean, you were pretty. You were like, yeah.
No, I don't disbelieve remote viewing. I just think this particular case, nah. And if the CIA released it, they probably know it's bullshit too.
Yeah, they wouldn't release it if it wasn't bullshit.
They would have left this one. They would have kept classified.
Yeah. Good take. I like it. Nick.
Yeah, I'm confused. I'm confused because I still don't know what we're trying to answer.
We're trying to answer
That's why I brought up remote viewing at first, because we've all discussed remote viewing.
Viewer
right?
says he knows where the Ark is.
This remote viewer in 1988 supposedly reviewed.
Told the CIA where it is.
Well, he was working for the CIA because that was Project Stargate.
Hold on.
Project
Can we
Stargate
stop
is.
real quick? I just want to say one more thing about this remote
Yeah, go
viewing
ahead.
thing. And
Maybe
maybe
it'll
it's
help
just me and my bad, like moral judgment, right? And I'll take that. I own that. But if I could remote view, there would not be a single treasure left anywhere in the world that hadn't been found.
You're like Biff with the almanac.
Yeah, El Dorado. Why am I looking for the Ark of the Covenant? I'm looking for Spanish gold somewhere in like Florida. You know what I mean? Or pirate booty somewhere.
All the Knights Templar treasures.
I'm getting like.
Well, that's at Oak
wherever-
Island. The Knights Templar treasure at Oak Island, like Dave's talking about.
Yeah, wherever Hitler like stashed all the gold he stole. Yeah, I'm there. And I'm not telling the CIA that I found it. Like I'm just like, oh, I don't know. I saw the Ark. Is it a thing?
For all we know, that's already happened.
That's
though.
another good
For
point.
all we know, that's already happened.
Why are these remote viewers working for the government?
Yeah.
Why aren't they the government? Why aren't they the government?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I can read more about Project Stargate, dude.
Like, say if I was a remote viewer right now, I would be like, where are the Epstein files? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Where's
good
the
luck.
list?
They're there. They're there.
Yeah.
Don't bring that up again. Dave kind of forgot about it. Now he's going to re-trigger.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
So what I was trying to figure out was like, what exactly are we answering? Are we saying that the Ark does exist?
No, we're
And that's
answering
the
if you
CIA
think that he remote viewed that.
Remote viewed the Ark.
If his story of what he saw is true.
And this is the same guy who was right 50% of the time, all the time.
No, this is a different person. He was just using that as an example.
was their-
and I don't
that
think
was
this
their-
is also. This is
that
not
was
the guy
their
that was on
best-case
Sean
scenario.
Ryan.
Yeah, so I'm
50% of
gonna
the time,
agree
all the
with
time.
I'm gonna partially agree with all of you. Yeah, I think the presentation was bullshit. I think that's where Teresa's getting that. I do like it, but then she did bring up what I always say is movies are always the answer for conspiracies, and I think most conspiracies are real, but Hollywood desensitizes us to them by showing them in movies. So we kind of go, yeah, I already knew that, right? And it's like, just like the alien spaceship coming, that's going to kill us all. We've already seen Independence Day. We know how to defeat it.
Is that like
right?
a week from now?
Yeah.
Is that like a week from
It's like
now?
it's
I
in
heard
October.
it's sped up. I heard it sped up.
I think we got a month.
No, 3 Eye Atlas. I heard it sped up according to TikTok.
But the reason they're finding the Ark is because of the power it holds, and we've seen that in the movie. As soon as you open it in Raiders of the Lost Ark, everybody dies, and then biblically they just open the Ark and just throw this big wooden box at people, and everybody falls over. So I can see why the government, why Hitler was looking for it, but in Raiders of the Lost Ark. But yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I think they're describing Mecca. I agree with Buddy there. They're describing Mecca. Wow, you watch National Geographic, and maybe that was God's plan is let's hide the Ark under this big stone in Mecca because nobody wants to go to Saudi Arabia. It's hot, right? And then walk around in circles around this big stone 5 times because it's what you do. I don't know. So it seems like a great spot to hide it. So yeah, I think it's BS. But the Ark's real. But yeah, there's no real.
But
there's
you
no
agree
remote
that
viewing.
Remote viewing in totality is BS?
No, none. You're gonna have no.
You agreed with it last time, though. You were like,
I don't remember last time. I was drinking 10th Mountain Bourbon. All right.
What? Can we have a replay on that? Or?
Yeah, maybe if Chris or Dave use the technology that we buy to make clips, we probably have it.
Chris just needs to pick better technology and not recommend shitty one. But anyway,
oh my gosh,
we won't get into that right now. But anyhow, okay, cool. Where are we at now? Is anybody doing an honesty cap?
What Buddy's turn?
Yeah.
Oh, we're at the honesty cap, and of course, the honesty cap today is dedicated to the fact that it is 100% National Airborne Day. Everyone, and Nick has said it quite a few times. First of all, in remembrance of National Airborne Day, just a little.
That stuff's brutal. I have a bottle down there. I've had it for like 10 years.
This is a lot like being airborne. It'll get you where you need to be, but it hurts. It hurts a little bit. It does hurt a little bit. Probably takes a little bit off of your life. That being said, I do want to discuss, as my honesty cap, Nick has said quite a few times that, first of all, that doesn't look right. Anyway, Nick has said quite a few times that we're better than you because we're airborne. And that is true. But let me expound on that a little bit and tell you why. So, like, if I had a board here, I would say that we're all born in the same spot. And then as our environment and our experiences, we develop as people, right? Well, some of us, Nick and Dave and I, at a certain point, we joined the military, and then we had a choice, and they said, do you want to be airborne? And we said, yes. And the other people that joined the military with us, let's say we were both in the same line, they joined the airborne or the military, then they went to basic training and AIT, we're all together, and then we went to airborne school, and then we continued to go this way, and they just kind of went this way. And the reason that is because of the insertion platform itself. They went to some leg unit somewhere where they got in a helicopter, or they got in a truck, or they got in a tank, or something else where their squad leader was always there, their platoon sergeant was always there, their lieutenant was always there, and they didn't have to like take charge or lead anything. We jumped out of an airplane where we landed, and to be honest, if we really wanted to, we could have just walked off the drop zone, found a nice tree, covered up in our camouflage wilby, and gone to sleep for the night. But instead, we found other people like us, and we went to our assembly area. We turned in our parachute, and then as soon as we had enough people, a 19-year-old specialist and a couple privates took a machine gun and a radio and started going to do the mission and took charge. And we were put in place. We had the opportunity to take charge at a very young age. And because of that, we became better leaders and better people, better human beings.
Yes.
If you never had that opportunity and you just kept going along, and then finally you were made a team leader, so you were forced to do something, and then you bumped up a little bit, and then you finally made a squad leader, and you bumped up a little bit, you're not as good as we are. You will never be as good as we are. And it's just a fact of life. I'm sorry that facts don't care about your feelings, but that fact doesn't care. If you're a leg, you suck. If you're not a leg, you're awesome. Also, like Nick said before the show, if your dad's not airborne, you got two moms. So you should probably fix that. When I found out that my dad spent 26 years in the Army and wasn't airborne, I was fucking disgusted. Disgusted. Can't even believe. I had to bring honor back to my family. And that's what I did. So, again, happy National Airborne Day. If you're not airborne, you ain't shit. And that is the honesty cap for the day.
Cheers to that.
Don't be a triggered pansy. Airborne's not relevant. Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine having a whole division worth of people falling from the sky to fucking deliver a fucking knuckle punch to your anus not being fucking relevant. And that's what we'll do. We are literally Uncle Sam's knuckle punch to your fucking wrinkle grommet.
How do you really feel?
That's my honest.
I think that was actually kind of mild. We get kind of pumped up on this day.
That was good, buddy. I like that.
And for the historical
Chris, clip that, please. Clip that.
Yeah.
Telling you what to do.
The knuckle punch to your anus is a good one. So I think that's our new airborne shirt. Let's put some wings on there and ready to deliver a knuckle punch to your anus. Right. So.
Oh, and David Gray, you are correct. There is no walking.
That's our Major Gray.
Drop zone. There is no walking on the drop zone.
Yeah.
It used to drive me nuts.
Well, I mean, Sergeant Major Gray, he's a leg now. He went back to Cannon Cocker Land at Fort Sill. He's hanging out with Dave right now. So
that's all right. He's just trying to convince other people to not be horrible humans.
Yeah.
You got to send some people there. I spent 2 years in Leg Land trying to convince people that they were good enough. They weren't.
So here you go. You you got William, who's old and disgruntled. He said the only two things that fall from the sky was what I was told, fools and bird shit.
Fools, which one are you? Yeah.
But no, it's
never heard that one before.
Yeah, and again,
it's probably aerosol. Yeah,
yeah, maybe.
But to go to Buddy's point of like, people be like, oh, airborne's not relevant anymore. The only people that do airborne are special operations.
Kind of makes it relevant.
Kind of makes it fucking relevant.
Relevant.
Kind of proves the point that the first step to most special operations is some type of selection, some type of school. Like, hey, are you this? And then you go to like Halo school. And then you go to like static line jump school if you're like not in the Army. But they still make you go to airborne school, right? They still make you have that capability because it's very relevant.
Yeah, and the relevance only applies to, like, let's look at the wars we've been in. Like, if we go into a full-blown war again, 18 hours, wheels up, 82nd Airborne will jump into freaking some country and take over the airfield and do what they got to do. Like Iraq. I mean, we have a combat jump in Iraq, but we're not going to count that, right? We're talking
about Ranger Regiment. No, but with the Rangers jumped northern Iraq, right?
The last 82nd, the big one was Panama. Yeah, Operation Just Cause.
Just Cause, yeah.
December 20th. There's your airborne history.
And it should have been named Just Cause We Want to Knuckle Punch Your Anus. That's what it should have been called.
Just Cause.
Just Cause. Just Cause you pissed us off.
I'm concerned with your anus, effectively. Like,
you'll get that a lot from Buddy. You'll get that a lot from Buddy.
I once, when I was a teenager, one of my friends came up and did like a Charlie horse type thing with his knee, but it hit me in the butt. That hurts. I feel like getting knuckle punched in the butthole would be horrible.
So now we know the beginning of your.
That's where the trauma began. Yeah.
Beginning of the trauma.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, when you listen to a lot of trauma victims, they start to do that because they
joke about their trauma.
Yeah. That's how they they comfort with it. Like they end up doing more of it. So I guess that's what started Buddy's anus fetish, but. It's fine.
Danny Lukey just texted me today. Only $82 to be a lifetime member of the 82nd Association.
Tell Danny Lukey to watch the show that his friends started. Yeah, we're live right now. So Dave always texts me during the fight show when they're like on Friday nights, and I'm like, Dave, we're live right now. You can come on and talk about it if you want. Come right on and ask. But the company that you're a partner of. Let's see here, William. Seriously, I wanted to be airborne. Oh, here we go. We go, buddy. That's all yours.
No.
That comment is all yours.
I mean, hey, we got to give him the honesty, right? Like, he's being honest.
Yeah, I wanted to be airborne.
And he sucks at running too. Like, he's admitting that he wanted to be airborne and he's slow. So we'll just let it go.
It's not the running that's bad. It's the running while either drunk or hungover that makes it horrible. You know what I mean? That's the part that really.
The airborne shuffle in airborne school, you're running at what, 9 minutes? Like, it's so easy. Airborne school is super easy.
Yeah. Airborne school was easy. You know what the hardest part? Did I tell you about my first? Did I ever tell you about my first jump?
I failed the first time. I failed push-ups.
My first jump in the 82nd when I got there was a night mass tactical jump with I think there were 13 aircraft in the air at the time, and we were jumping. I'm going to hear about this one. It was when we still had the 111s, so like basically a C-130 but longer and with jets on it.
Nobody was in the military when you were talking about this except you, buddy.
Buddy's talking about the 90s. Let's just get to our guest, Nick. Buddy's going to talk about.
We went to. They were like, "Oh yeah, it's your first jump, so you don't have to carry your rucksack." And they're like, "But it's going to be at 2:00 in the morning, and we're staying out there for a couple of days. So sucks to suck. If you don't take your rucksack, you're not going to have anything with you." I.e., why airborne is better because we don't give a shit. So I carried my rucksack on my first jump, and then my team leader almost broke my nose because he said, "Don't ride my chute when we go out the aircraft." And I was like, "All right." So we start going, and I'm doing like the shuffle, like in airborne school, and they're running like fucking wild men to get out of the fucking door. They also were shaking the static line and screaming like fucking crazy Indians when like Native Americans. shaking
Well,
it.
Indian is short for indigenous. All right, we don't have to be woke here.
Indigenous personnel, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it. Anyway,
Are we still live?
scared the shit out of me. And then when I went out of the aircraft like this because he had turned around and jacked me in the nose because I got too close to him. It's fun, great time.
Good times.
Nice.
Great time.
Yeah, well,
Anywho.
I'm glad we got that. It's not definitely out of the way. I will definitely do a lot more airborne posts throughout the day for sure, and talk to people. But no, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing our guest, who has been gracious enough to give us her her theories on what was it, Stargate or whatever, and then the thing. But I got to meet Teresa in Tampa, where she got me a ticket to this.
Yeah.
So I still got it to the Dierks Bentley concert. So,
nice.
That was fun.
So-
You left early, I think, or you lost early. I'm not sure what happened.
No. So I through a coworker, now friend of mine, Matt Frost, is how we got connected. And then Matt's like, hey, these ladies here, they run the Pillar Foundation, and it's something to do with supporting spouses, supporting families in NSW, and all these great things. And I was like, well, you should come on the show. And they were gracious enough to say, absolutely, we'll come on the show. And so this is Teresa. Here she is. She's an OM Budsman, which when I was doing some research, I couldn't find it. So it's because I don't think I have the clearance that NSW has. However, she is the reason that when Buddy and I were on Coronado Island, she is the one that advocated that SEALs get the weekends off during Buds to do laundry. And we wanted to know that because in Ranger School and the Q course for Green Berets, you don't get the weekends off.
No.
So we were like, this is cool. Like I thought you guys were supposed to be hard. And then we found out it was Teresa who advocated for that, giving the Navy SEALs a 2-day break in between their getting drowned. So Teresa, welcome to the Trash Talk Hour. Talk about the Pillar Foundation, pretty much talk about whatever you want, and let us know how we can help and support it.
So the reason why you can't find ombudsman, who's got the feedback here? Is it me?
Who's got the feedback?
Before I keep going.
Yeah, ombudsman, Michael. We don't know what that is.
So the reason why you can't figure it out is because you're saying OM budsman.
Well, that's what it says.
You're saying like O.M. It's just ombudsman. So you guys have FRG?
Mm-hmm. We do.
Yeah.
We do.
Okay.
We do.
So ombudsman program is actually a Navy legit program. Like we have to go through training, and we as ombudsman, it's a volunteer position. You're always a spouse of said command. So each SEAL team has an ombudsman. Each squadron within Dev Group has their own ombudsman. And basically, we're the liaison between you and your spouse, or you and your mom, or you and your kids, or you and whoever your primary first of kin is. And it could be like, yay, I'm in labor, I can't call Afghanistan, or yay, I'm in labor, I can't call Utah, because whatever, we can't reach our husbands. Now they can. We didn't have all that bullshit, in the beginning. We couldn't text and all that. And then on the flip side, you've been injured in Afghanistan. And so the wife gets notified, I get notified, and then I kind of manage that injury at home, because he could be just in Afghanistan and not coming home, or all the way to a casualty. And that's what sucks the most, is when, the primary gets notified, then they notify me, and then I kind of trail behind the CACO, which is the casualty affair.
Yep, Red Cross and all that. Yep.
I trail behind the CACO and wait for them to notify, and then start to kind of work it. That sounds awful, but to work the funeral. And my husband, to back it up, my husband's a retired Navy SEAL, which is, I know all the what you're going to say. Anyways. But
what movie is he in?
I know, he's not. He's one of the good ones. Hadn't written a book. Not in a movie.
No book? No movie? Book. Oh, he's probably.
We had one on here that started a supplement company. We had a Navy SEAL that started a supplement company, at least.
That's right. We've had several SEALs on here.
That's good. That's good. He has no tattoos. He doesn't gamble or drink too much or definitely he's a unicorn. and I can tell you more about why I know that. But that's the gist of ombudsman. So I'm a liaison between the spouse, the mom, the family, and the command, because you can't just call. You know, when the guys go to work, they put their phones in the, I think it's called the skiff. I might be saying that wrong. Where you can't bring your phones into the command. So if something happens, they need to find out where their husband is, and that's me. And then it's fun stuff too. Like, I didn't really organize parties, but because our tempo was so fast we were in Virginia Beach from 01 to 17. So it was just war. So it wasn't fun. It wasn't like organizing parties and get-togethers. It was more like managing the horribleness of the deaths that came all the time. That's what an ombudsman is. But what did you think it was?
We didn't. I
No.
thought it was like just like some kind of title you got from like an admiral who like
Nick put in the chat that you were a government contractor for special warfare.
Oh, well, no.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
No.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
To be fair, like, you know, we were trying to impress some SOCOM peeps while Frosty and I were down in Tampa, and she's like, "Oh, why don't you just come by my table? I'm here with Fenton and Shorter," you know, and I'm like, "Oh, with the SOCOM command, cool." So she definitely has the juice. All right, she.
I mean, to be fair, if you Google ombudsman, it says it's like some government worker who looks for, like, yeah.
So then, how did that go into?
Go ahead. Yeah,
go ahead.
Go
How
ahead,
did that
Nick,
go
go
into the
ahead.
Pillar Foundation? Like, what is the Pillar Foundation, and does that have something to do with the ombudsman?
So it's ombudsman, OMBUDS.
No S, ombudsman.
Kind of, yeah. So for me, being ombudsman, it was very much connecting spouses with resources, helping them solve problems, helping them get through a crisis, stepping in and making something happen when like nobody can make it happen, which is kind of my superpower. So then when we retired and we moved back to Texas, all the bullshit that happens when you guys get out and when y'all do that transition to being a civilian, you know, how hard it was. But I don't know about your group, but the SEALs or SOF in general has a ton of resources thrown to the guys now in the past decade, and nothing to the spouses. So we moved home to Texas, had already had a house. I knew where the kids were going to school. The whole thing, we were golden on paper. My husband, Jerry, went through all the programs. He had a job, like check. But then we come home and all the things that are supposed to happen to you guys, loss of identity, weight gain, drinking too much, can't find any friends, can't relate, sense of purpose, all that happened to me. And then in Texas, gravy's a condiment. So like we both put on like 20 pounds because gravy. And drinking and, you know, the whole thing. And I was just like, where the hell are my girlfriends? Like, I need to find a military spouse because these civilians are weird. Turns out we're the weird ones, but I really wanted to find out where they were. And then I started talking to the ladies above me whose husbands had retired, like admiral wives. Like, why is everyone divorcing? Like, why is everyone quitting after 2 decades, 3 decades? We did the hard part, and now it's just quit. And it just came to be like, well, this sucks and this is really hard and no one's supporting the spouses. If I'm not heard and I'm not supported, how am I supposed to help my broken husband? And then my kids who don't even know their dad, you know? So it really just came from that. Like, how can I help the spouses help the service members to lower the divorce rate, to keep the family intact, because when you're both like running hot, you know, there's no good from that. So my goal is these spouses, like 2 years before you guys get out, give them all the resources they need. And there's anything you can possibly ask, I can find a resource for. Maybe put you on a retreat where you're going to move to, so you meet new ladies where you're already going to land. And that way, when the guy gets out, you're like, I got this. Like, you can be the shit show, and because you deserve it for a couple years, you know, but then let's get it together. It's just, the divorce rate's way too high. Like, I think for SEALs, we're like 92% after retirement.
92.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wonder what it is for just like all branches.
Well, we know the Delta Dan one, when the GWAT first kicked off, it went through the roof. Like on the Delta Force side. Yeah, I'm gonna like, I hear everything you're saying, and this is something I talked about a few shows ago that I'm going to start advocating here in California is, and then, hopefully getting it bigger to the DOD, is we have all these programs and things like you said that we're getting better at giving more and more, access to programs and things that should help. However, we know what it's like when, big Navy or big Army or even like the SEAL Foundation or the Ranger Up Foundation, like it kind of gets watered down. And I was thinking, how come there isn't a program set up, or maybe there is, we don't know about it, that when I'm getting out of the military, why am I not going to counseling with my spouse and my family?
Why doesn't TRICARE marriage counseling?
So I heard a rumor that you can't do that for family counseling through the VA. Was like a 6 to 8 month wait. So I called the VA.
Yeah.
I called the VA and I said, hey, I want to do counseling with my wife. And they were like, yeah, next February.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
that's the problem.
It's true. And it's like, so
and
yeah.
The good counselors out there don't accept TRICARE.
Okay, so Wounded Warrior Foundation, if you guys have any disability status, you're part of it. They will do that. They will give you family counseling, your kids counseling. Look at that. I have the same coasters. They just came in the mail. Like, what,
they just mailed them to us. Yeah.
I got a set and my husband got a set. I'm like, great. Don't know why. They will do the mental health for your kid, for your wife, for you as a couple. The kicker is, I'm in Tyler, Texas. Nobody in my 60-mile radius was going with the Wounded Warrior program. Navy SEAL Foundation, which is only going to help if you're qualified for that, they use the Headstrong Project, and they will give marriage counseling. And I think Green Beret Foundation uses them too, and it's free, like 36 sessions. But yeah, why does TRICARE not take? Why can't we take marriage counseling? I know, like, if you need to, like, your local priest will do it, or your local, chaplain or whoever. But yeah, disservice for sure.
Yeah, and then but we're talking about a lot of people who don't even want to go to therapy for themselves, yet alone, get it for their family.
I think that's even,
But then hindsight, is 2020. But like if you like something that could be, hey, is your spouse ready for the next stages of your guys' lives? Like, where are you moving to? Like you said, where are you staying local? Where are you moving to? Okay, let's connect you with somebody there, because like you said, I'm not with my tribe anymore, and it doesn't just affect the service member; it 100% affects the spouse. And so, like,
the whole trickle down. I mean, I have 4 kids, so can you imagine? We moved to Texas, and we look good on paper, like I said, but he's struggling with what he's supposed to be struggling with, but then so am I, and I'm in big girl panties all the time, keeping it together, and I'm just like calling bullshit. Like, I have got to have somebody help me, but there's just nobody there. So the Pillar Foundation really just came from a need of myself. And I just started asking around, this sucks, right? You need this, I need this, like, what do we need as a group? It was SEAL wives in the beginning, and it has trickled to all SOF wives. And I did do individual retreats per branch or unit specific, but now it's like, cool, you're moving to Idaho, you're going to go on the Idaho retreat. I don't care what your husband did. Because in the end, it looks the same. Like,
right.
Y'all may have done different things and different tracks, and you feel different about each other, and you banter, but at the end, it's the same. So that's what we're trying to really focus on.
I like that.
How do people get to the Pillar Foundation? Like, what's your outreach like? Does it go to like the separation classes as people are getting out, or how do people find out about you and know about you?
All of the above. So I have contact, because you met me. I've got contacts everywhere. And actually, you left SOF Week. You left the party at the concert, and we ended up dancing with like General Fenton and his wife, and Admiral Bradley, and had the best time at the end. But you've got to stick around long enough to.
Well, I had to carry the Navy SEAL home. He couldn't handle his booze, so I had. That's what they bring. That's what they bring Rangers for. They gotta get you out of there. So.
Always such a fun week. But yeah, all the little transition programs know about us, and I just try to partner with as many as I can. And then I have Facebook page, Instagram. Word of mouth is the best, because our community needs vetting. So when one wife says Pillar Foundation did this for me, contact them, and they go on the website. It's easy. They fill out the contact form. It generates a call with me, and I'll do a one-on-one intake and kind of feel like, you could use a coach, or you could use hormone replacement, or you could use a retreat, or you need a new resume, or you need a laptop to go back to school, or you and your husband need co-parenting sessions because you've never done that before, because y'all are gone and then suddenly you're home and you're head of the household, which I'm Southern Catholic, so I totally believe in a head of the household theory, but it's hard to give that back when I've been head of the household for 25 years. And then he comes back and he's like, that's not how we do things. And I'm just like, sir, that's actually how we do things. You haven't been here. So just rebalancing the family is really what it's all about, but I do that through the spouses.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So is the website how spouses and wives get in touch with you, or is there a phone number they call, like an 800 number, or it's just the website?
Cell phone. Yeah. They just call me. It's on the website and there's a contact form, or they call me on the numbers on the website. I'd prefer them going through the website for tracking, and right now we've done like 16. I started in 2022, March of 2022, like seat in my pants, just started it. Like, I'm going to go on this first retreat. And my husband goes, well, where's the money coming from? I was like, fuck if I know, but it's going to show up. And it did. And it has been since then. I've got great donors, other nonprofits that don't have like programming, but they just raise money to disperse. So,
right.
And then a good handful of individual donors, good patriots. We're in Texas. And I just finished my 16th retreat. Summertime is kind of a break because I'm talking about moms and wives and they're not going to do anything over the summer. And then we kick back off in the fall. Also trying to go to Soft Week and Military Influencer Conference and, different women's conferences, and me trying to do all the pieces. I'm only one person and I have 4 kids and a husband. So I'm trying to figure out how to delegate a little bit better because I do love all pieces. But that's a long answer to the simple question. Yes, just go to the website. That's how they can get.
What would you say for you you've done 16 of these retreats? What's the biggest takeaway? And then what's the biggest thing that keeps the spouses from going to the website? Is there something that you've seen that they were hesitant and then they finally did it, and like I said, what's the biggest takeaway that you've seen that they kind of share?
Honestly, so the retreat's 4 days. Day 2, there's tears, and they're like, I didn't know that everyone felt this way. Like, I didn't know that we're kind of all married to the same dude. I didn't know that you have my problems or we have the same kid problems. It's that camaraderie, that community, and just like being seen and validated. Like, it's not just you. Like, this is a normal path of transition. And I will find the one spouse who goes, we're fine. Our transition's been great. And then day 4, she's like, I'm just kidding. It's horrible. We don't know what we're doing. We're on the brink of divorce. That's the biggest takeaway of them going, thank God I'm not alone. And then they have like another little community to resource share all by themselves. You get 10 women in a room. What are we going to do? We're going to solve each other's problems. So that's easy. Them not coming to me hasn't been an issue because, okay, well, let me back that up. Active duty spouses are a little bit more hesitant to ask for help than when the veteran spouse asks for help, because you're an active duty spouse and you're still big girl panting. You cannot pause.
Yeah, you're also scared about like careers and what am I asking? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What if the command finds out?
Yeah.
What if the command finds out, which I say is bullshit because
it is.
The command doesn't tell you can't go to yoga. Like, the command can't tell you can't take vacation. Fuck the command. That's why I'm not I don't do like veteran service organization. There's no red tape. So, honestly, unit girls are really bad about that. And I've been trying to explain, like, it's not your unit. You don't work there. Like, it's your husband's job. You don't have a rank. You don't have a rate. But that's been the only piece, is the active duty girls are a little afraid, but word of mouth helps a ton. And the more I do like podcasts and things, and I try to show up to other people's events, like to be invited to other organizations, fundraisers. Let me show up and say, I'm here for you too. Like, we're the same. What's good for the goose is kind of what I say is my motto. So I try to support a lot of other transition organizations just to show, like, we're all here for you. Like, if I can't help you, then she can, or he can. Like going to Soft Week. I have no business there except to make connections with the other nonprofits. I mean, I didn't have a
Right.
booth, you know.
And you brought up a good point, where we've seen a lot of success with promoting veteran spouses-owned businesses, nonprofits, for-profits, doesn't really matter, is that networking of, it might be a year from now, but somebody will come or say something on the page, and I'll be like, wait, Dave, who was that guest we had? Like, hey, let's connect and make it happen. If I can dive a little deeper, like you talked about, yeah, your husband was a SEAL, a career SEAL, and you started for that. Is there anything before military life that kind of maybe had that strength and prepared you for the next steps into your military life? And then, because it always comes together. It's like, was there anything like in your background before that that you attribute to?
Okay, so I'm one of 5 kids. I'm the middle kid, so I'm the peacemaker and the problem solver of my family. And then I did meet my husband at 17, so it's hard to say me before him, but me before Ombudsman, me before war, I was a headhunter. I was a recruiter. So I still connected people to jobs. So she'd still come to me and say, these are my strengths. And I'd go, great. These are people who want your strengths. Shoop, shoop, connect them, call it a day. So that's always just come easy to me, just problem solving other people's problems. And my husband keeps saying, I need to teach people to fish and stop enabling them. But sometimes I'm just the easy button. I'm like, let me just do it for you, which is a strength and a weakness. But I've just been that person. And I'm a people collector, which you have found. So I do like to keep people in my pocket and know who's good at what and what strength people have, and then, connect them with that person and that talent, and just lean into other people's strengths, basically. Like, you're good for this, tap you into it. Like, don't call me to do a math problem. Like, you should know that about me. And I'm not going to call you to do something. Like, you just have to learn who's good at what, and then that's how you can make the proper connections. That way you're not wasting anybody's time.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, it's that skill definitely crossed over as well. It's for sure. Yeah, connecting the dots is always important. Yeah, we talked about this. Because we brought that up like
several times. Yep.
Where your husband's like, stop, you need to make them fishermen. We were talking about this pre-show before you came on about the difference between like sympathy and empathy when it comes to here. How do you see that as a spouse in the work that you're doing? Are there times where you're like, hey, if you're not going to do better, I'm just going to hug you and say I feel sorry for you. Right. But if you want to get better, this is what we're doing.
Okay, so empathy. Okay, so I took the Gallup Strength Finder test. There's 32, maybe 34 strengths. Empathy is number 13 for me. So I'm not living in my top 7 with empathy. Like, my number 1's communication and number 2 is woo. Empathy's halfway there. So when you're empathetic, you feel other people's emotions. You take them home with you. It bothers you. It physically bothers you. That doesn't happen to me, which makes me good at my job, because I can just listen, black and white, solve your problem. I don't want to say I never think about you again, but I've taken notes on you and I'm ready for the next person. Much how I read a book and I don't remember the book when I'm done. And that's good for me to solve the problem and then go. I'll have wives be like, we spoke last week. I'm like, sorry, I talked to 15 women.
I just call that TBI. Go ahead.
Whatever. Yeah. Leaves my brain. Sympathy, though, is different. Sympathy is me going, I feel what you're saying. I'm sorry for your situation. But the end is still the same for me. Whether I'm empathetic or sympathetic, I'm still connecting you to a resource so that you can solve your own problem. Like, I'll refer you to a somatic therapist or refer you to a resume writer, and I don't need to hear back. And we'll pay for it. I mean, we give grants for these things, but I don't need to hear back on how you've done. Like, you're a grown up. And as a soft spouse, you've been running the show for decades. I hope that you can continue, you're a grown up. And if they can't care for themselves, that's a whole nother thing. But by the time a soft spouse comes to me, they're ready for the help, because we don't ask for help until it's like dire straits. So I haven't come across someone coming to me not really willing to take it, because that's just who we are. like as spouses in general. We said the guys are the same. We're similar. We're all kind of the same too. Did that answer that question?
100%. It does. It does. And real quick to Michael in the chat, he's been very engaged with us, but
oh, I can't see that.
I don't think any of us talked about R. Kelly in here. So screw R. Kelly. I used to listen to him too, but I have no clue what you're talking about.
I can't see this, can I? I can't see the chat.
Michael, like I used to bump R. Kelly like crazy back in the 90s.
Michael is a Canadian, so this makes sense. He probably got a little bit of Buddy's microdosing that he's been on, and why he's so context. Buddy went off on me on a chat for no reason yesterday, and I was like really. He went off on me because he said I changed the format.
It was your format. It was your formatting.
You know,
your formatting was bad. Don't ever do that
I'm
again.
like, buddy, I've done the same thing for 3 years. I write it on my phone on notes. It takes me about 20 seconds, and then I send it to you guys. Like,
Somebody was
I will
saying
not be
this to a
gaslit.
comply.
I will not be gaslit. That was paragraph form and not bullet form like you normally do when it first came through.
So he was
And
obviously on
that is
something
not
really,
correct
really good.
format.
And I think the Canadian was following our show pretty well, and he was talking about
you're
the
actually
ombudsman.
You're paying more attention than I am because I didn't.
And now he's
Where
on this. If you
you
click
can't
that
see the
little,
chat.
she should be able to. If you click the chat icon, you should be able to see it.
I'm going to hang up. I'm not going to deal with that right now. Y'all have to
Okay,
the chat's always
he went off on this R. Kelly tangent, and I'm thinking that his microdose that he stole from Buddy has triggered something. And Bond stated, "R. Kelly, I can fly."
Who is Bond?
He believes he
Who
can
is
fly.
Bond? James
Who's
Bond?
Bond?
Who's Bond, Michael?
Michael, who's Bond? Nobody here's Bond. You got Buddy, you got the big girl, you got Teresa, you got the face man. Who is Bond?
So, Buddy, were you talking about R. Kelly? You're muted, Buddy.
Muted.
Muted, Buddy. You're muted.
He probably was
Buddy.
at this point. Just like
You're muted.
Logically, the way this, I think the way this transpired is somebody said something about "I believe I can fly," i.e., Airborne Day, and then now we've gone further.
That was the beginning.
Yeah,
Maybe, Michael, are you near the wildfires in Canada? You might want to go get checked out. All right. So there.
Well, does he believe about Duck Dynasty and Indiana Jones? Is he part of that group? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
The little video we saw earlier. That's funny. I can't see it. Thanks, Michael. Whatever.
Tyrell Bond.
You guys, are y'all married?
Michael's on one. Michael, we're just gonna leave it at that. We appreciate you tuning in. Give us a like and subscribe on YouTube. And follow us, man. Appreciate it.
To answer your question, Teresa, yes, we are all married. I was the smarter than other people. Like I got divorced before I retired, so I don't have to have like
He's not a statistic.
Yeah.
I was married for 14 years and got divorced before I retired as well.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're married or not? Divorced or not? Like, can you think of the
But I'm married now.
that you put your spouse through?
Say again?
Can you think of the hardest thing that you put your spouse through?
Oh.
Or the situation she went through?
Which one?
I think I respect my situation. We have a big Buddy, you answering this or me?
No, I'm just saying which spouse are you talking about? The first one or the current one?
Oh shit.
Well, you married royalty now from France. There's not
the current one has all your baggage. So God bless second wives, I always say, because they have all.
I guess true. The first one, I don't know what there were plenty of hard things.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Let's see, the first deployment I ever went on was Kosovo, and we got married on February 8th of 1999, and I left for Kosovo on like April 15th or something like that. And she had only been there for about a week, and we were both very young, and she had to figure out how to move out of her parents' house and be on her own while I was gone for almost 6 months, where we couldn't call or talk because there were no cell phone.
Yeah.
We had the little radio phone that you would be able to call once every month or so, and you had to use radio etiquette while you did it.
Yeah. Listening.
Yeah, and then the last time was probably after my son was born. He was born on November 17th of 2008, and we left for our deployment, which was exactly a year after our last deployment, on like a week later. So that was probably shitty.
I'd say
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'd say my hardest was shout out to Tyler. It's his birthday today, August 16th. He's 19 today.
All right, birthday too.
My ex-spouse, we got married, and back then they weren't as lenient when it came to staying back. You know, because now they're a lot better about that. I mean, we saw it on our deployment in 2009. They leave you behind. So, but back then it was no, because if we'd let one person stay behind. So my long story short, she was 7, 8, 9 months. She was like right there. And then Tyler was born 3 weeks after I left. I was still in Kuwait. I hadn't even gone to Iraq yet. And then we're supposed to be on a year-long deployment, and it turned into a 15-month deployment. And she had to run the show at the house. So like, I respect my ex-spouse. Our situation's a little bit different than a lot of people. We're a big blended family. Like, she comes out here, she hangs out here. All the kids are with us. But like, we don't give the spouses enough recognition on like the stuff that they go through, because we have to focus on one thing over there. That's staying alive. That's taking care of our brothers to our left and our right. The spouses are dealing with all the kids, school. A lot of times they're not focused on their own personal growth as in education. Like Nick's wife did it great in Hawaii. You know, she got her degree and stuff, but a lot of spouses like, well, you don't have a degree yet? Well, we're moving, you know, 2-3 times out of the year. Like, so hats off to spouses that are still there and sticking it through. Then you got the horror stories, right? When, you know.
Yeah, you come home and everything's gone. But yeah, to answer on my side of it, for sure.
But I want to give credit to the military spouses that are, you know,
unlike the Navy SEAls who did it right. The Navy SEAls did it right.
You got me back real good.
The Navy SEAls who did it right, their bases are all in pretty cool spots, right? You know,
and they stay there, right? They don't.
They stay there. You know, I mean, you know, but whatever. Like, but the really good units in the Army, they're like in Georgia, North Carolina. All right, the you know, second bad out in Fort Lewis isn't too bad. Washington's all right, you know, but for the most part, you're in the middle of nowhere and it sucks, right? So, you know, for my spouse coming from Southern California to Rayford, North Carolina, right? And then
Fayetteville, homie, let's go.
Fayetteville, homie, you know, yeah. Well, Fayetteville's where the base is, but then like. You start getting out towards like to try to get some type of peace where you don't get killed. Like you got to go to like Southern Pines or you know like yes, yeah. So you got to kind of get out there a little bit, you know. And but that's hard when you're like an E4, E5. It costs money. You got further you get away, you got to have some money out there.
Yeah.
But you know, then our first deployment, like you know, she went from a complete culture shock from LA to the Southeast, especially like that area. And then, you know, she had to hold the fort down by herself.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we had a good network with like, you know, Danny and you know, your ex-wife where they were all watching each other's kids. However, you know, and
they take care of each other for sure.
It was extremely like you think about the culture shock of what, you know, technically I didn't, you know, force her to marry me, but like, you know, like, no, but you know, they accepted that, but you say I might want to try something and then you figure it out. Like, well, this sucks, but now you're stuck in it. So like, it's like, and that I think that was the hardest thing was the culture shock. And then I heard this all the time and I always took her side for it, especially against my family or somebody else, you know, like when we're on a vacation and we want to cut loose and we dump the kids off with grandma and grandpa, it's like, hey, to my brother or to somebody else, you get grandma and grandpa anytime you want.
Yes.
Any weekend you want.
Yes.
My wife doesn't get grandma or grandpa. My wife doesn't get a babysitter whenever she wants.
Free. Yeah.
Here you go. Like, see you later. You know, like, and we're about to get wild. Right. So it's like, and
it's always military first, right? When it comes to the job, like taking off of work and stuff, where like, even if your wife wants to have
like, what's date
job, but then it's like the kids are sick. Like
I would say that that's probably the biggest difference between civilian life and military life.
I think it's gotten better, buddy, but back then,
no, it hasn't.
I think it has. I think it's a lot easier for a soldier to like leave work now than it would be for because a spouse,
not for a spouse,
a corporate job.
Even it may be easier, but at the end of the day, if
you don't have a family care plan in place,
if you're a guy in the 101st and they say you're going to Poland next week, guess where you're going?
Obviously,
You're going to Poland
obviously.
next week.
Yeah.
If
You're
they
going to
say
the
that you have
field.
24-hour duty, you got 24-hour duty. If the Army says and I mean, you look, if you're working at McDonald's and you win the lottery or you get a couple $1,000 extra and you decide that you want to go on vacation somewhere, you can go into McDonald's and be like, hey, I'm taking a couple weeks off. I'm going on vacation and I'm going to Russia. Okay, have fun.
PTO.
If you're in
what I said earlier, like your job is the priority.
But if you're in the Army, if you're in the Army and you get a 4-day weekend and you're like, hey, I'm going to go take a flight to Denver, they're like, no, that's too far. You didn't put in a pass. Pardon me? By the way, this weekend we're on DRF1, so you can't drink or be farther than 2 hours away.
2 hours away.
Right. It's a very big difference between what and that translates for us. It's just like, well, the Army said so that's what we're doing, or the military said so that's what we're doing. But the wives didn't sign up to be on DRF1, and so they're like, wait a second, so we can't go to the beach this weekend? Like we can't go.
Or they can't take off work, right? They can't take off work to watch the kids because you have freaking CQ or staff duty, and then like they're losing their job over that,
Yeah. But if somebody's going to take off work or lose their job, it's going to be her, not.
It's going to be her, yeah.
Or it's going to be the spouse.
Or you're both drinking before we actually cared about DUIs. Like we're both drinking. Who's driving? You are.
Right. You are.
You
are. I am. You are.
Yeah, you're driving.
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Not me.
It's tough.
But you got old Sergeant Major Gray saying my spouse is from Douglas Byrd School District. She leveled up.
Douglas Byrd. Woo!
But hey, Teresa, did we answer your question?
Yeah.
What do you? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm just like that awareness of and to flip that, I now understand he had it really hard too. Besides the logistic of what he was doing, like pooping in a hole and living in, and again, he deployed. Well, he was at Team 1 from 95 to 01, and then went through Green Team in 01, and then he was at Dev Group from 01 to 17. So we didn't have all this stuff. We had like one VTC. We had to pay long distance for calls. But now that I'm on the other side, we're on the other side. I do honor and respect the fact that he did have it harder than I was giving him. Not at war, but as a parent, I'm like, you don't even know. You're not here. Someone just threw up at me and I got to change a diaper and I'm fucking sick. But then he's missing it all. He missed it. Our oldest is 21 and they don't have a relationship. They have a little bit, but because he missed it and he can't get that time back. And that sucks for you guys. I mean, regardless of how your marriage ended up with the kids, you missed it. He'd come home and like, oh, Tommy's not crawling, he's walking, or now he's not walking, he's running. And we moved car seats and he doesn't like that food anymore. And he doesn't know who you are because you have a beard, go shave. That sucked for y'all. Like I really didn't get that when I really was hard on him about you're never here, not understanding how much it hurt his heart and still does. So that.
Yeah, I deployed quickly after my oldest was born and then came home on my R&R and was like, and my oldest was Natalie, she was on a nap. And I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go get her from her nap.
Ooh, you're not.
Right. And when I came into that room and she saw me, it was like apocalyptic, like just straight blood curdling. I go, okay. Like I had to like do a combat roll out of them. Like I'm out. Tag team, you're in. Go.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what that was.
Come home. I'm like, you gotta go shave. You look like the Taliban. Like you gotta go shave. Here are the kids.
The Taliban.
Because we weren't FaceTime. So they weren't able to FaceTime him.
Yeah, it was the point. Yeah.
That was the point. I'm supposed to look like the Taliban.
I know, that was the point. But I'm like, you're home now.
kind of a big deal, like semi badass.
Yeah. But anyways, you guys did have it. I am nodding to you. Like you did have it. It sucks that y'all missed out on so much too.
All right, so yeah, well, we can start wrapping things up here. How do people get to the Pillar Foundation? How do they support it? And like you said, word of mouth is always great, and this will help with the word of mouth thing. But what can somebody do? Like if somebody wanted to sponsor a trip, can they go on your website and say, "Hey, I want to sponsor a trip"?
Yeah, go to the website, hit the contact, fill it out. There's a note form, and it can be like, "I have a beach house I'd love to donate. I have a lake house. I have an excursion. I want to just give you money, or I want to do a little fundraiser for you in my hometown. You know, like that's a piece we're really looking for, is to kind of start having like ambassadors and do different fundraisers in different hometowns. It started so fast and so furious. I've been like drinking out of the water hose type thing. So if you call me and contact me and say, I want to help, I'll figure out a way to plug you in. But the website's the landing zone on, you know, where to start that. And then spreading the word. We also need people who have services they can offer for different expertise,
Right.
like lawyers, accountants, therapists, acupuncturists, you know, whatever kind of service you do. We always need to add to the roster. Or if you're another nonprofit and you want to partner and you feel like I can run a retreat for you, or you've got Green Beret Foundation hired us to run a retreat for their ladies very specifically. There's no box that we're kept in. That's why we're not a VSO. So really anything you can think of, hit the website up and then just hit contact me, and that's it. Or just go to LinkedIn. That's kind of pretty active there too. But always looking for any type of donation. And if it's just your volunteer time, that helps too.
Awesome. Yeah. And I know you don't see the chat, but the baker just put that into the chat.
Okay.
Go to softpillarfoundation.org and go donate if you don't want to get mixed in with it, or if you don't have any money, but you have a skill.
Yep.
All right. That is another way to help out. So go do that as well. And again, it was a pleasure having you on, Teresa. It was, again, I always think that there was no accident that I ever meet people, especially when I'm out traveling with, you know, I've said this in the Book of Earl before of, you know, expanding your tent with good people so that, you know, if you have the ability to help, if you can't, at least you know somebody that does. So I've added Matt Frost in my circle. He's a great human being, and got us connected. So again, this is one of those guys that where if he says, hey, you want to go talk to them, you go talk to him. I trust him that way. So I'll see here. What's Grace saying there?
Michael, dude, we're good, brother.
Yeah.
You really pissed the Canadian off today, Nick.
I did. I mean, I was just trying to get, you know, and I thought Canadians all did shrooms, like, you know, from Super Troopers. So I just figured.
Did you read what he said?
No, what did he say?
Michael, we appreciate you tuning in. He said, I have followed and watched many times, but without context or due diligence, this group decides to start stating I'm on lucid drugs. Buddy understood. I was responding to a comment. Maybe you don't see them all.
I understand,
Michael,
it was to start
Michael.
start shaming
I
me for your
want to
ignorance.
tell you something. No. I want to talk to Mike.
Michael, there's your shirt
here.
So,
first of all, I'm on
Michael,
Mike's
we
side.
love you, brother. We
These
appreciate your support.
They will fuck. They've been saying I've been doing shrooms for 2 days now. You know what I mean?
The joke was on Buddy, not on you, Michael. The joke was on Buddy. Yeah, it was making fun of Buddy, Michael, not you.
Michael, we appreciate you, brother.
No,
we appreciate
you don't have to be good, Mike, but if you're making a list,
those guys, tripping now.
Those
Michael,
two,
that's what we're trying to say.
I'm
We
on your
probably
side,
are
Mike.
tripping.
Gosh, Michael, step away from the ledge.
Yeah. No, anyways, hey, a little AAR. We're still not sure what the conspiracy is. That there is the Ark of the Covenant.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Some shapeshifter, or what are they called again? People viewers,
entities.
Remote viewer thinks that the Ark is under the Mecca, and that there's a bunch of people in white robes and one dude with a mustache. That's what I got from it, and agreeing with Teresa. Yeah, we don't know what the overreacting chick was in there. Maybe that was just hyperbole. It's what it is. But then again, we have Teresa from the Soft Pillar Foundation, who does great things connecting spouses with soft people, and then pretty much probably, you know, if somebody from any DoD branch reaches out to her, I'm sure she'll reach out a helping hand. So you go there, donate to it, and yes, spouses have to adjust as well. And spouses have to find their tribe again. And she has connected those dots, or is trying to the hardest that she can. Great human being. Other than that, that's the AAR. And give it over to Dave.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you just tuned in, go to VeteranTrashTalk.com. That is our website that has the links to everything that we do. So you can go rewatch this on YouTube, re-listen on Spotify. Go to YouTube if you're watching right now. Subscribe and like. because the YouTube algorithm isn't working in our favor right now. Go to shop.veterantrashtalk.com and you can get these awesome tees. Okay. National Airborne Day. I arrived violently. All right. Great tee. And we'll catch you guys next Saturday. Baseman VTT out. Boom.